Hey, what's up everyone? Ryan here, and I'm back with another College Football 25 Kentucky Dynasty Mode Series video, and it is time for the regular season finale here of Year 5 in this Dynasty, and that final game is, of course, the Governor's Cup here, a huge rivalry matchup between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Louisville Cardinals. Now, both of these teams finished the year with disappointing seasons. We're both unranked. Louisville is 5-6, and they are 2-6 in their conference, and the Kentucky Wildcats are 6-5 and 3-5 in the SEC. So, yeah, it's been a very disappointing year. You know, last week we faced off against Georgia, the #1 team, and honestly, we should have won that game, but we had 5 turnovers, and it's tough to win games when you turn over the ball 5 times. Despite that, we still almost won, and we moved from number 21 to not ranked, right? So today, we're trying to get the win against Louisville, lock in a bowl game, and then close out the season, hopefully in a bowl game in the next episode. But big thank you to you all for all the support on this series. You all are all legends. College Football 26 is only a month away. The day this video is posted is going to be June 7th. The game launches on July 7th, and I cannot wait for that. So stay tuned for a full Dynasty series for that game as well. Going to be doing a Road to Glory, of course, as well. And I'm not quite sure who's going to be the team we rebuild in College Football 26. You know, I would love to play my Kentucky Wildcats again, see what the new team is like in the new game. But also, you all have seen Kentucky a lot here on the channel. Maybe we need to get a new team and try to rebuild a new team. So let me know what you all think about that in a comment down below. But just like always, going to do a matchup preview, take a look at the top 25, the college football playoff projections, the Heisman watch, and then dive into the matchup today. I have timestamps for you all in the video description. You can also see the game start timestamp at the bottom right of the screen. And if you all get some enjoyment, drop a like, it really helps. And subscribe for plenty more sports game content. And taking a look at this matchup here, you got a Kentucky Wildcats team who's really struggled on the road. And today, we are going into Louisville, Kentucky to face off against the Louisville Cardinals. So, we're 94 overall. They're 84 overall. Now, our offense has shined all year. We have truly played to the 94 overall, but defensively, that 95, we have not played up to it. We had the worst defense in the SEC, and we had the best offense in the SEC. A lot of that is because of our impact player, Dan Honeycutt, who needs to have a big-time game today. And listen, in this matchup today, I'm going to take out all of my frustrations this year on the Louisville Cardinals team. What better way to close out the regular season crushing your rival in front of their home fans? We are going to crush the Louisville Cardinals today. I am not going to hold anything back. We're going to throw for 400 yards, maybe 5 interceptions, but that's okay because we're going to score 10 touchdowns. And here's your look at the updated top 25. You remember at the beginning of the last episode when I said Georgia is no longer going to be the #1 team? Well, I lied. Georgia, #1 still after taking down Kentucky and Lexington. LSU, #2. Virginia Tech, Oregon, Michigan, Notre Dame, NC State, Northwestern, UMass, Boise State, North Texas, Kansas State, USC, South Carolina is out of the college football playoffs right now. Kansas, Florida State, UCF, Michigan State, Florida, Baylor, Tulsa, Clemson, Charlotte, Miami, and UAB make up the top 25. Now, one thing that's really interesting here, if you're comparing strength of schedule here, and you look at South Carolina compared to Northwestern's season and UMass, I looked at both of their schedules. It is so unfair to South Carolina that they are sitting in the 14th spot below Northwestern and UMass. It makes no sense, and that South Carolina team has had an insane schedule. They've had like huge wins. I mean, they took down Kentucky when we were one of the best teams in the nation in the top 25, of course. We didn't play like it, but yeah, they took us down. They took down Florida at Florida. They took down another big, I think they delivered LSU their only loss. I could be wrong. They took down another big SEC team. Maybe it was Ole Miss when they were in the top 10, right? South Carolina is getting robbed. And listen, I'm not a South Carolina fan at all. But after they took us down in Lexington, they've earned my respect, and I just know they should be in that 8 or 9 spot, but it looks like they're going to miss the playoffs. And still some great news on the Heisman watch, everybody. Although this has been a disappointing year, and we're not going to be able to make the college football playoffs, we may coach our first Heisman player. We finally were able to coach a Heisman player. He's basically locked it in with the season he's had. Dan Honeycutt has dominated, and I believe instead of Kroger Field, the new stadium is going to be called Dan Honeycutt Field in the future here in Lexington, Kentucky. Michael Turner, number 2, Otis Cribbs, Ryan Puglisi, both of those players crushed us last week. And then Marquez Yates there for LSU, number 5. And I know we're not in the college football playoffs, but if the season ended today, it would be Georgia, first round bye, number 1, Virginia Tech, Michigan, and Boise State. It'd be Kansas State versus LSU, Northwestern versus NC State, North Texas versus Oregon, and UMass versus Notre Dame. But it is time. The final game of the regular season here. The Governor's Cup, always Kentucky versus Louisville here. And let's see what uniforms Louisville is wearing here. Okay, so they're wearing red. How about we go all red for Louisville? And then that way, Kentucky, we can rock a little bit of blue, right? Let's go blue helmet. Let's go white jersey and then blue pants. There we go. It's got to be red and blue here for the Governor's Cup. Playbook is set. Let's play some football, everybody. Let's close out the season strong. I know it's been disappointed, but we have not locked in a bowl game yet. So we got to win today for that. And yeah, let's do this.
In Louisville, Kentucky, they love thoroughbreds who know how to run down the stretch and get to the wire first. And certainly, they've seen plenty of them here. From Johnny Unitas to Lamar Jackson, today, the Louisville Cardinals will try to live up to that legacy. And while today is the final home game of the season for one team, it is more importantly a celebration, Senior Day, as we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Kentucky Wildcats, taking on a team from the ACC, the Louisville Cardinals. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up.
I want to win by 10 touchdowns.
To start the game.
We're going to take all of our frustrations out on Louisville today.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22.
Yeah, last year we beat them 37-7. Kentucky is leading the all-time series 24-17.
There's no question about that. But when they square off for the Governor's Cup, oh, football is big time.
Oh, it's so beautiful, too. And usually interconference rivalry
What a
games,
throw.
It means...
Hit the afterburners, kid. A huge gain on that one before he ran.
Yeah, our quarterback has bounced back after his worst week of the season. Jerry spent overtime with Stephen Bullock this week.
I like it. Let's just come out and fling it and make a big play and make this defense know we're ready to get this.
That was a good block.
And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. Stuck with a running game.
I'm looking at Honeycutt for a touchdown.
Here they come again. Looking to throw on second down. A shot toward the end zone. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
Honestly, I know he had to dive for it. You don't see him drop that too often. Last week we had a lot of drops, but it was pouring down rain.
When one side gets smashed and they have to hear about it for a year, Palmer, it usually ends up being a pretty good game.
Yeah, they brag.
That was a bad throw. Come on, Steven.
Their team really haven't been in the national championship picture for years.
That's a touchdown, Honeycutt.
This Kentucky offense really moving the ball quickly.
Told you.
And it's caught.
There he is. Show him the Heisman pose.
They can
Or not.
use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry.
Dan hasn't hit him with the Heisman pose all year. I don't even know how to do it. It just happens naturally. I think you can celebrate. Thousands of hours in this game, I still don't know how to celebrate.
Momentum is always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
Probably a good thing I don't know how to do the Heisman pose. I would do it all the time.
First 7 of the game. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And the score comes on a 17-yard throw for the touchdown.
That's a good start here in Louisville, right? We played them in Louisville, not last year, but the year before, and we crushed them.
So Louisville's offense will take the field for the first time.
Elijah scored 9 sacks, a freshman.
An offensive stage, Jesse.
Man, these quarterbacks better have an internal clock working today. If you hold on to the football, you are getting sacked.
The best athletes on the field are defensive
Matthew
linemen,
Horn,
and you
come
got
on.
guys like this that can get after
What a
the
play.
quarterback. Points will be at a premium.
They better
After
watch
getting
out
knocked
because
back
I
to
am
open
putting the
this
pressure
drive
on
at
them.
2nd and 12. Moving the running back, forcing the defense to adjust. Caught in the backfield.
Let's go. Dylan Rowe has been great this year. We haven't had a lot of greatness in our secondary, but we can say he's done a good job.
Both have a rich history of stars. Johnny Unitas,
Cover 4.
Lamar Jackson from
Walk him
Louisville,
down.
Bear Bryant,
Play the sticks.
Tim Couch at Kentucky through the years. The rivalry is a great one, fellas.
That's a great list of people to think about in this rivalry. Obviously, it runs deep, and the uniforms are solid, right? Like bright red, blue on the other side. Just a nice color clash.
Yeah,
It is a nice color
visually
clash.
and
The bright red and
This is a very
blue.
good-looking rivalry game, but it's also good on the field. There's a lot of talent assembled here today.
And the Cardinals
It was
will line
not
up
good on the
1st and
field in
10.
2025 in real life if you're a Kentucky Wildcats fan. If you're a Louisville fan, well, it was great.
He's looking to throw it. He's got an open man. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. Leaves it with the running back.
Good play. Come
And
on.
he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
Blitz on him.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing at this point.
We should have won last week against Georgia, everybody. Like, we had that game. I know I'm not supposed to talk about the past, but
How easy was
we
that?
gave that
You
game
got a
away.
quarterback that can run design runs like this and get you 5+ yards just and make it look that easy. God, it makes it really hard for the defenses to stop.
On 3rd and short.
Good
they'll go
misdirection.
to the power running game. And they'll
yeah,
bring him
that was
down,
good
but
play.
not before he picks up the 1st down. They're about to snap it for the 7th time on this drive.
Come on, Kentucky. Our defense is the worst in the Southeastern Conference. We're the worst in college football. It's embarrassing.
And they pick up just a few on that completion.
I don't know if that's the coverage you want to be throwing wide receiver screens against. Oftentimes, you want the receivers to have some access. You want the DBs to be off a couple yards so you can help.
Livings is
set up
trying to
the
get the
blocks and
fans
the
fired
receiver
up. He
somewhere
forgot
to
he's
go.
in Louisville.
And he's all bottled up.
Lose.
And now it's
Matthew
first and
Horn,
goal.
a strip sack.
Defense swarming on that
Tim
loose ball.
Rooks
It'll be
picks
a
it up.
turnover.
Come
That
on.
is exactly how you draw it up. You get to the
Livings was
quarterback,
mocking the
but you hit
fans there, trying to
football.
get him
You
to...
hit him, you try to rake it out.
He was
Great
just
job
trying
on
to
the
get the
defense.
student
Getting
section
the
over there
sack,
for the
getting
Kentucky
the fumble.
Wildcats fired up. Our fans are down there in the corner. He's just trying to get them pumped up. What a play. A little strip sack, everybody. You love to see it. Put his shoulder right on the ball.
Kentucky
Matthew
sends
Horn
the
might have
offense
passed
back out
Elijah
onto the
Schooler in
field.
sacks.
Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense
What a
did
block
such
by
a good
Sanders.
job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again. on this one.
Honeycutt
Yeah,
right
you're
down the field.
They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What
Yeah,
sort
good
of
luck.
changes were...
He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline.
No way. When I saw number 5 there and saw who was going to cover Honeycutt in general, no
This
shot.
offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so
Linebackers
many different
cannot
ways,
guard
and they
Dan
do
Honeycutt.
it so quick, so
Neither can a
explosive.
safety.
They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
Actually, no, I'm going to correct you. We are better than a top 10 offense, but thank you.
Lining up to
Defense,
tack
we don't
one
talk
more onto
about.
that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
We don't
Dynamite
talk
matchup
about it.
today, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Virginia Tech is in the unusual position of having to come from behind right now, but there's not a soul
What a start
who
here
doesn't
in
believe
Louisville,
they
Kentucky,
can't pull
everybody.
this off.
Nothing I love more
It's a
than crushing the
touchdown
Louisville
game.
Cardinals.
They're trailing
Actually,
by 7 to
I love
Virginia.
making the playoffs
We'll circle
more.
back. If
So,
anything big happens, you should know about
I
it.
will
Thanks
say
for the
that.
update
But
on
since
that
we
one,
missed the
Kevin. Let us know
playoffs,
when it
well,
goes final.
Nothing I love
Tipped
more.
Ball put it up for grabs, and I thought he had it, but somehow it slithered through his fingers. After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Looking to the big tight end. That is just a sideline play.
Nobody was on him.
Roll, catch, toe drag, everything you want.
Louisville is going with a hurry up right now. All right.
To the air on 1st down. Buying some time.
Brooks, come on. Converted in to defensive tackle, and he's been a game changer. The only good part of our defense this year has been the defensive line, Storm Livings, the middle linebacker, and probably Dylan Rowe.
To attack your quarterback and get him on the ground just like this.
And that's about it.
Rattle this guy as much as you can, as many hits as possible on these quarterbacks.
Good route. That was a great route by 83. Quick route.
And the catch was one thing, and the run even better.
Like very quick feet there, and I just couldn't
We see
guard
another
him.
catch by this guy. This defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure
I missed
you're
the
able to
tackle.
drag him down to the ground
Mayo got
as
the
soon as he catches
tackle,
the
though.
ball.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd
You know, I'm
down.
going to be the safety here because I'm guarding up.
Power football with the run.
Yes, it made the
And a
play.
decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
Okay.
Listen, I know that's not a huge
I
gain,
think
but those run plays add
let's
up.
go to our
They
bread
can
and butter.
tackle the back every single
Well,
play.
nothing's been bread and
Physically,
butter this year,
you
but
have to get some guy
cover
on
3
the ground.
match.
It takes its toll throughout a 4th quarter game.
Defense trying to come up with a stop on 3rd.
Actually, you know what?
37. We have the early makings of a quarterback
Let's think about that.
duel, as these stats will show you.
Look at Steven Bullock. He's back. Too bad he didn't
Just
show
about
up
ready
against
to get
Georgia.
things started here in the second.
I
We'll
mean,
see
he
if they
showed up
continue
all
to
right.
flex that muscle.
Threw a
Now
lot of
facing a
touchdowns,
3rd
but a
down as they
lot
come
of
back to the line
interceptions.
after the break. They'll try to run for it. Now well within striking
That was a good
distance
play
as
call,
their
honestly.
3rd down play gets them a first at the 29. The Cardinals come to the line.
They're
with a new
moving the
set
ball
of
well.
downs.
They were moving the ball last drive. They just fumbled.
Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. And the
With
defense
our
gets
defensive
home and
line,
makes a
I am
play at
shocked
the
they ran that play.
37-yard line.
They've had no
It
time.
is
They still
such a
run that
luxury
play.
for a defensive
They're lucky
coordinator
he
when you
did
know
not
you
fumble.
can get after the quarterback. This is the best team in the nation right now in getting sacks. Whether they rush.
Wait, are we
4,
number
5,
1 in
or 6,
sacks?
time and time again.
Maybe we're
when they
not
get
the
opponent in a passing
worst defense,
situation,
just worst
they're
pass
able to get
defense.
home and create negative plays.
Well, like passing yards allowed, but maybe we get a lot of
And
sacks.
chunk plays
Did
are
the announcer
name
just
of
say
the
we're the best
game, and
team?
they get one
We
here
have had a
before
lot
the
of
defense
sacks.
Finally makes a stop. Looking for a crease.
Hard to
It's
believe when you
Dobbs.
look at our record.
Ooh, and I love the running back here, running into the blitz. He saw the extra defender. He was able to put his foot in the ground and make a miss. That was a good play.
The give to the
Yes,
running back from the
Storm
shotgun.
Livings, everybody.
They bring him down, and he's gonna
And
lose
Smith
a
came
yard
in to
on
help with that one.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red
Watch
zone.
the
What
QB
helps
run.
you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25
Watch the QB
defenses
run!
stopping the run.
And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Louisville! That touchdown was a clinic in keeping your offense on the field and wearing the other defense out.
Sometimes your best defense is your own offense. Being able to stay on the field. You're absolutely right, Reese. That was a clinic. Running the ball, playing at great rhythm and pace. QB making.
I mean, that was a
smart
great
decisions,
run.
And not shooting yourselves in the foot. No
He had all
penalties,
day,
no
too.
turnovers. It doesn't get any better than that last drive.
Ready to try the point after.
We know this is
And
not
with
going to
the
be an
extra
easy game.
point,
Can we
every
throw all
little bit
over them?
counts
Yes.
as they get closer.
I looked at their secondary before the game, and I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to jinx it, but I can say now we have way more speed.
And he takes this from inside the 5.
Now, I think we've
Nice
had
job
more
by the
speed than
kickoff
every
team. Everybody
defense this
staying
year,
in their
but
lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16.
we're not
Kentucky
undefeated.
has it back, and the big blue offense takes the field. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a rest.
And that's a real thing.
Let's go shock H option. Is this a touchdown?
Palmer, now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complimentary football.
Yeah, there's no way they guard Honeycutt. They have no speed on the outsides without a safety. That's going to score every time.
Touchdown, Kentucky!
Welcome to Honeycutt's world.
It was Katie bar the door, baby.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
You know, if only you could export draft classes to Madden, because you better believe I would export Dan Honeycutt into Madden and we would simulate his career. This kid is something special. He is the most special player we've coached so far in this dynasty. We've had a lot of good players in these 5 years, right? But we have not had a player at the same caliber as Dan Honeycutt. He's nuts. Like, he's impossible.
Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off. The kickoff team out there set to boot it away.
And he's unguardable one-on-one unless you play Georgia.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt.
Listen, I give Georgia a lot of credit. I know I said we were going to take them down as the #1 team. I said circle that game all year. Some of you even put it on your calendars. Sorry to put you all through that. Put that on my calendar, Ryan. You threw 5 picks. Well, you witnessed it. So that's good, right? Yeah, I give Georgia a lot of credit. You know, like,
down 14 at this point.
And I would also say,
they always play me good in this game, no matter the dynasty. It's always close. They beat me 80% of the time, and
make something happen on this side of the football.
I hate it, but I also respect them.
Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
Most offensive coordinators want to be really aggressive on 2nd and short. And I love the quarterback here. He drops back the pass thinking being aggressive. Nothing available. Scramble. Give me an easy first down.
What's been your all's favorite moment in this dynasty? You know, we can reminisce over these last 5 seasons. What's been your all's favorite moment?
I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really.
Has it been all the clock management issues? Is it?
With little success. So
is that number 1?
Continue to focus on running the football. You can tell.
Quarterback on the keeper.
Has it been Dan Honeycutt?
Efficient run gets it up to the 44. And the Cardinals in the hurry up.
Has it been? I'm trying to think. I mean, of course, for me, it's going to be the first national championship, year 1. And also, that's on All Pro. I think the first national championship on Heisman was probably number 1 for me.
He gets the job done, picking up the first down.
Like, that was such a big achievement. Like, saying we did it on All Pro, but can we do it on Heisman? And we did it the next year. And then we did it the next year. And then we need to stop reminiscing. Focus on the football. You all reminisce in the comments.
If I sit back, he can still scramble, run up, and get a big play. So hard to defend this guy.
Brock Vandegrift led us to back-to-back national championships, right? Pretty impressive. Wow, we had a good defense, though.
Caught behind the line. It's Anderson. That completion will take them inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down.
I dream of the day that the Kentucky Wildcats have a 5-year span that we've had, right?
They're going to run it.
You know,
He pushes his way down
you think Kentucky's ever going to win 4 out of 5 national championships?
Nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill.
Dream big, right?
Run. Great job finishing with his pads.
Dream big, everybody.
We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. Fires into
What
the
a
end zone.
throw.
And he's got it.
Wow. Who is
Touchdown
this kid?
Cardinals.
This kid is insane. He's made one mistake fumbling. Other than that, he's dominating. What's the quarterback's name? Doman? D-O-M-A-N. Doman.
The passing game's rolling.
He's pretty incredible.
They'll try to tack one more on
You know,
the
one
score.
thing our defense is really good at is making quarterbacks look good. That's been our specialty all year. You want to win Heisman at the quarterback position, play against our team.
A 9-play, 75-yard drive. And they capped the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass.
You know, we learned a valuable lesson in this dynasty. Do not touch the AI sliders, and do not weight the AI sliders ahead of you. That is the most important part of this dynasty, I would say to everybody playing college football. Do not give the AI advantage. Pat, just put it on Heisman if you want more of a difficulty. If you do, they cheat. You all have seen it all year. They do.
Well, this defense
Their quarterback's 11 for 12 right now.
And I know a DB made the tackle there, but we're only in the second quarter, and already this quarterback has over 200 yards passing.
Breaks the tackle.
But yeah, really, I don't know why I did that. I overcorrected after having a dominating performance in the national championship last year. I've regretted it the whole year, but it is what it is.
To different guys in the passing game. It won't just be receivers.
Guerrero, touchdown.
This running back, he's a weapon too.
Give it to the other generational talent.
On second down, just keeps firing. He lofts one down the sideline.
He dropped it.
This is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
Hey, listen, quarterback didn't get the completion on that throw.
That is a great throw.
Trust in your playmakers.
I cannot believe he dropped that.
Push the field and stretch it vertically and make a play for
He has the sure hands as well, 50-50.
Take more shots as this game goes on.
Give him another shot. There we go. Good job, Guerrero. 54 seconds left. I see it.
Catches, plenty to give him a first down. Kentucky back at it with a fresh set of downs. He's going to pass.
I did not mean to do that.
Pass, and it never had a chance.
Well, that was something.
Last week, man, the completion percentage way down. Just wasn't consistent.
We don't talk about last week, announcer.
Control, and this offense is moving at a way better pace. Looks like a completely different team from last week.
Now adjusting. He's going to swing it into the heart of the field.
Maybe a bit too much confidence in Dan Honeycutt and our quarterback's arm rolling one way, throwing crossbody.
Man, this QB is so dangerous. He can get outside the pocket, and right here you can tell he gets outside the pocket. Now I got to make some decisions, man. Do I want to go chase this guy? Do I play coverage? And that's why
I don't like it.
Quarterbacks can really put you in a predicament. The defense won this battle. But
we're playing too relaxed right now. You know, we're having fun. We're reminiscing about the dynasty. But listen, we want to win football games. Something we have not done a great job of this year.
A third and long coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. Using his legs to buy some time. He's going to take off.
He got it.
He'll step across the sidelines after making
Look at Stephen Bullock go. What a play.
Quarterbacks are, you know, there's so many.
It's incredible.
Calm, cool, collected.
Okay, I'm looking at Guerrero and then Honeycutt.
But a lot of times it's just smart, understanding the situation, the down and distance, and knowing where that first down marker is. Great job.
What a throw and what a catch. 16 seconds left. I see it.
He's run out of bounds, but not before.
We got plenty of time. And I'm looking at Sens for a touchdown here.
Operating in the red zone. Wide receiver now comes in motion. He wants to throw. Unleashes to the end zone.
That's a bad throw. It was a great route. He was open.
Man, these windows get tighter down.
I'm doing the same play to Honeycutt.
Those catches are a little
just a bad throw. Okay, 13 seconds left.
But you need your players to step up for your QB and make big plays. I think he's going to look back and say, I should have made.
Picked off. Looking for more room. He goes out of bounds, but he just about
did he just
did it
run out of
himself.
bounds?
What a return after the interception.
And that's just excellent cover. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody.
4 seconds left. Try to run that back for a touchdown. Is he trying to give him one more play?
I don't need to force it. I don't force it.
Listen, I am so glad he did that. if I plant my feet and throw that, it's a touchdown. I don't know why I was dancing in the pocket. I thought I had to get outside. I didn't need to. The pocket was fine. I panicked, and, well, we kind of got lucky. Because he ran out of bounds instead of trying to run that back. It's like he was trying to stop the clock to try to get another play, but what he didn't realize, he's on the 26-yard line. Okay, solid first half. It should be 28-14, but I'll see you in the second half.
Fellas, all the tradition and bad blood between these programs, it's all kind of come to a boil today in a spirited first half in the fight for the Governor's Cup. And there is no better place to start this halftime than by reviewing how this wideout has been a one-man wrecking crew. The kid's been everywhere, and I love how he's willing to go across the middle, but that he also has the jets to burn these DBs on the deep ball. If this defense wants to actually come back in this one, they better hide his cleats. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this fight between Louisville and Kentucky plays out.
All right, Kevin, about ready to get things cranked back up here.
You know, before we kick off the second half, I want to see, is our other quarterback a senior, Ajayi? Is Ajayi a senior? If this is his last regular season game, yeah, he is. You know what? I'm putting him in. We're putting in Ajayi. You're giving him a shot. You know, he hasn't got to play a lot. He's played a little bit this year, had a great performances when he was in. Stephen Bullock just threw a pick. Jerry wants to sit him on the sideline, and you better believe head coach Ryan Gamer agreed. Put him on the sideline. Let him think about those 6 interceptions he's thrown in the last 2 games. Let's let the senior quarterback finish here. Maybe not the whole game, but for at least a drive.
Kentucky
we may regret this, but
get the second half underway.
Let's let the senior play a little bit. He was our first quarterback that we ever recruited.
And they thought about a return, then thought better.
He was a
of it. They'll bring it
4-star
out to
Jim, I
25.
believe.
The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field.
And he's
If they're gonna
developed
get
good.
on top in this game,
He's just
they're
not
gonna
as
have
fast
to
as
find a
Steven.
way
He
to
doesn't
get
have
the
as strong of
running
an
game
arm,
going in the
but
second half.
he's not bad.
So it can create some more balance, some more unpredictability. I feel like this defense has got a good beat on what they're doing, especially if they don't mix it up a little bit. So I do look for a little second half running the football, Palmer, out of this group.
And I think the thing, Dave, is they just got to be more physical. I don't think this is a scheme question. about
Way to
trying
make a
different
play.
run
Dooley
plays. I
just
think
saved a
it's up to the
touchdown.
big fellas up front.
That was going to be a
They
touchdown.
just got to make the decision that they're going to be
Watch the
different
quarterback
here in
run,
the second
Rooks.
half so that they can win this game.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it.
Good thing I put a spy there. Rooks gets the job done. Come on. All right, Ajayi. Here we go. Let the senior play, right? He's played a couple times this year after Stephen Bullock had some interception problems early on. He led us to victory in one game, if you remember that. And we need to not forget we have a great running back, too.
The big blue offense takes the field. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
65 has to hold that block.
Miscommunication down there in the red zone. David, this drive, the QB and receivers just have to do a better job being on the same page.
Yeah, and I think you pull the positives, right? We moved the football down the field. We had a chance to score, but we can't let those opportunities slip between our hands. Let's go get some points.
Fires downfield.
What a throw.
He's open on the right. Just gashing this defense. A big gainer to the 40-yard line.
Not an easy first throw to make. Is he already hurt? Ajayi's been hit one time. Look at him.
There's a big gainer in the
Come
basket.
on.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels.
I missed the wide open Guerrero. Guerrero, number 12. Just wide open there.
But there was nowhere to turn it upfield, and he's forced out of bounds for a loss. Second down coming up.
I'm looking at Guerrero and then Honeycutt.
He's looking to throw. Quick
What a
strike
block.
complete.
Wow.
He's run out of bounds,
That's a
but
fantastic
big
block.
play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Shock
When your
H
best
option.
is
I'm looking for a
demanded on
touchdown
big
here
stage
to
like this
Mize.
Against a rival, he has delivered, cracking the 150-yard mark.
No doubt about it. What do we
Or
say?
I didn't know what number, I didn't know what 17 was. The icon wasn't showing up because of home field advantage, right? I couldn't see it. It was RB, but I didn't want to risk it and hit the wrong button.
Regardless of what the pass protection was, sliding or going base man-to-man or fanning out, you generally always account for the middle linebacker.
Okay, Ajayi is on fire right now.
They've done a really good job.
I mean, he's putting every ball on the money.
Yeah, dude, get that guy matched up on a linebacker. That guy matched up on a safety.
He's like, he's trying to say, Coach, look what could have been.
Let him make plays.
The Wildcats come to the line with a fresh set of downs.
They're pressing Honeycutt.
He'll come out throwing on first down. And good coverage there to knock it
I waited
away
way too long. It was a touchdown. I almost caused an interception with that throw because I just waited too long.
An interception for this quarterback, and now you throw another one, in harm's way. You got to make sure you're throwing to the open guy. Make sure you're taking care of that football.
Guerrero is wide open.
That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
Really
Honeycutt,
need to pick up this conversion
I
and
mean,
avoid
need
having
you
to
to
settle
cut
for the
like
field
honey
goal.
right now.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And that's
Close. Let's kick the field goal, right?
All over him, knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Once
And on
Ajayi
4th
took
down,
that
they'll
shot,
try to
he never looked the
salvage
same.
drive with a field goal. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. And that lead grows
Field goal
even
kicking on the
bigger.
road is
Let's go to the
terrifying.
studio now
That
and
was
check in
so
with Kevin
close.
Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on.
You know, we that was so close. But yeah, Ajayi did good. You know, he has wear and tear, and you can see that. He really started to fall apart there. So we're gonna put
Is currently ahead in this
Bullock
one.
back
The
in
folks
here.
Piscataway have been in a frenzy all week, but they're in the birthplace
But hey,
of
led us to
college
points, you know.
football. This one is close.
Made some great
They're up
throws.
by just 1 over Penn State. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere.
Watch Stephen Bullock transfer because of
They'll
that one
give it to the
decision,
back.
right? Imagine.
Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
No, I don't want to be at
Didn't get
Kentucky
much on
anymore.
first down. It's
I want to go
2nd
to a
and
winning
9.
team.
And the ball's loose in the backfield.
Yes!
Oh, look what I
No,
found.
we didn't pick it up.
I'd say that's a stroke of good fortune.
I hit
The offense
RB,
keeps-
a strip sack, not a sack, but a
Right,
forced
man. You
fumble.
fumble that
That's
thing, you
Matthew
cough it
Horn's
up, you're
second
like,
forced fumble
I really
today.
appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big time break for the offense.
Storm, get a pick.
On 3rd and long, you
Come on, Storm.
Deep. Pulls it in. It's
Yes,
down.
Dylan Rowe
And
has
he's
done a
not
great
going
job
to
tackling
make it.
this
The
year.
defense
Pass coverage,
denying him the first
you know,
down.
all right.
You
But
gotta
as far
love
as
that. On
tackling,
defense, one of
he's
the
been
most
the
critical
best
statistics
on our
out
team.
there
I
is
think
how do
probably
you
the
play on
most
third
consistent
down? How do you
tackler.
prevent the opponent from keeping
Him and
drives
Storm
alive?
Livings.
Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get
Honeycutt's
some
so
water inside.
fast. I mean,
They'll put that return to a
all
stop
right.
at the 33, but the
Let's
offense
just
set up a
let's
pretty
just go to
good field
Dan every
position.
time from here on out.
Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. That last drive was a long one, Jesse. They'd like this time to pay it off with a touchdown instead of a field goal.
No doubt, Reese. They had a lot of good stuff going that last drive. Need to get a tutty up on the board here to extend that lead.
Yeah,
And I think you definitely want a
no.
touchdown, but if you put another
I
long
should
drive
never have
together,
thrown
get
that.
points,
It is a
multiple
good thing we
possessions
took a
in row,
shot
start to
because
let
that was a
those
pick
body
six.
blows add up and wear
Just
this
gonna be
defense
honest.
The incomplete pass
It was
leads him
definitely a
with
pick
2nd
six.
down. He's looking to throw.
What a throw!
Firing to the right, complete. Good pickup there as he gets the first down. And
A
they'll
nice
mark
little
him at
touch
the
pass.
48.
This guy has a chance to bring home the Heisman Trophy this year because he continues
Has a chance to pull in the Heisman Trophy? No, I think he's locked it in.
You play. This guy finds ways to make.
Lets it fly deep downfield.
3-0!
In the end
That's
zone.
what he does!
Touchdown, Wildcats.
That's why we recruited him. 6'6", 98 pounds. drops the Heisman pose, a tribute to his teammate Dan Honeycutt. He's saying, I'll get it next year. 6'6", 98 speed. Just an incredible talent. He's got 50-50 and sure hands, which means he can win those one-on-one battles. And that's why I couldn't believe he dropped the one earlier. That's what this receiver was recruited for. Plays just like that. One-on-one, jump balls. And what a throw. Yeah, I love the Heisman pose tribute to Dan Honeycutt. Dan Honeycutt won't do it himself. I mean, I don't know why. But Guerrero's like, I'll do it for him.
And the capper coming on that 48-yard touchdown.
Take that, Louisville. Louisville gets all my frustrations today. I'm so mad about this season. So mad at Georgia. Hope they lose first round.
After giving up that score, now it's incumbent on this offense to kind of get a back and forth going, Jesse, in this game.
They got to put some points on the board here. There's obviously a lot of football to go, so it's not necessarily panic time just yet, but I'm getting the ball into the hands of my best playmakers on this drive.
I hear you, Jesse, but not panic time. Have you seen my defense?
What a tackle.
I mean, I'm not trusting them to get a lot of stops, so he puts a lot of pressure on this
Come on.
offense.
Here on third
Make
down
a big-time stop. Tim Rooks, watch the pass. Into the third.
Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and Kentucky has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up.
Can we not show the top 25 again? We already did it at the beginning of the episode. Can't look at it anymore.
One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. Ball sitting right at the 30. It'll be third and short. From the gun,
I forgot to put a spy. It doesn't matter. Number one just got beat by a mile.
Oh, what a caught. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36.
That was supposed to be man coverage, but,
well, I'll give this offense some credit.
Rhodes said, I'm not playing men.
There is no quit in them, and they're obviously trailing by a big amount in this game. They haven't had a lot of success, but they're still taking shots, and their players are still out there competing.
That's a great throw.
And
I believe Dooley got a hand on that. That was a perfect throw. It looked like it, but Dooley just came over and knocked it down.
To try to ignite them and get them back in this one, but nothing doing. Nice job in coverage.
They'll throw again after the incompletion. Grabbed in the middle. It's Anderson. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. And the Cardinals are moving quickly down the field.
Come on, Livings, make a play.
From the gun, they'll
Nope,
try to impose
it's just
their
great blocking
game.
all the way across the board there.
And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally.
Looked like they had an injury. I couldn't catch which player it was. Brady Thomas, not sure what position.
Which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10.
This game is not over, though. I can tell you that.
Looking to move it through the air.
Holding.
Snags it. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
First penalty of the game. 1st and 20,
Holding
gonna accept
penalties,
it.
the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. Looking for a productive play on 1st down.
I don't necessarily love this play call, but if it's run, it's fine. There we go.
They bring him down, but a solid pickup.
Okay, cover 3 buzz match, I do like.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. He'll keep it himself.
Scholar's amazing. This is a superstar already, everybody. A freshman who's made an impact every single game. Now, although it hasn't really helped our defense fully overall, he can't do it all.
Guys commit near the line of scrimmage so I can throw behind. This defense is good, but I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to try to be the more physical team. I love.
What a job!
What a play. When I saw him sprinting full speed that way, that's when I started running over that way.
This quarterback's on fire. I get it.
What a
He's thrown
play.
for over 200 yards in this game, but it's because he's got people helping him out. How about that incredible job diving out, stretching out, and hauling that pass?
And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals!
I mean,
Their quarterback is killing us.
What does he do? He makes plays. This is why
This kid is insane.
with this kind of athletic ability are so hard to stop. Big time money down on fourth down, and the quarterback makes
Just
the play.
on another level right now. I guess he's not really a kid anymore. He's a junior, but wow, is he dominating.
Getting set for the point after.
Without that fumble, we'd have it probably close to a tie game right now.
Good, but they still trail 31-21.
It'd be, of course, 31-28,
But
but
away after scoring the touchdown. Let's see if he can make a play on the return. And the
It was a
return
boring
will
return,
be
right?
brought down.
all right, let's make a play. Come on, Dan. Let's get Dan involved again. Gonna run it just for fun.
Line gets set, first down. They'll try to get outside. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Drayton didn't live up the hype of his senior year. That was because of wear and tear.
They've got a pretty good lead here.
Honeycutt, touchdown.
The defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line.
One-on-one, I'm throwing it no matter what,
Deep down the left side.
and that's why.
And the deep shot is complete inside the 35-yard line.
They can't handle him. Nobody can besides Georgia. They're the only team to shut him down. They didn't really shut him down. There was one team who did shut Honeycutt down. That's a touchdown.
So why stop throwing it? Just keep it going.
Deep shot for the end zone. And it's caught.
How do you stop him? You don't. Give him the Heisman, please.
That one puts them in really good shape to get back
Okay,
on
that's
the right
pretty good.
track and get another W.
I want the
They've
Heisman, though.
extended
He
this lead,
salutes.
guys, but sometimes in
Give
a
me the Heisman.
rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first
That's a
thing to
great
break your way
catch, too.
forward.
Gets
I think it
both
really
feet
comes
in.
down
He's
to
ready
their
to play
key
on Sundays,
playmakers, David.
everybody.
They
Look
can
at
come
him.
back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to
How
step
are
up and
we
start making
7 and
plays.
5?
And that extra point is a big one as they now
We haven't
have a
won yet, I know.
three-possession, 17-point lead in the fourth. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive.
How in the world did we land the greatest wide receiver of all time in college football, the undisputed now, undisputed with the numbers he's put up this year? He has the single best season in wide receiver history in college football
The
history.
Louisville offense is headed
We
back
did
out on
not
the field.
even make the college
How
football
about that
playoffs.
last drive just carved him up in the air, David.
Let
Yeah,
that sink
how
in.
about that quarterback? You gave him the ball and he delivered the
ask
goods.
yourself,
Great
how?
job taking
Well,
apart the defense, Jesse,
We
on
lost
that
more
last
games
drive.
than we
You
won.
really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading
That's
coverage
how.
and being accurate.
The Cardinals are in the hurry up.
We didn't
He does a
play
good job of
good
dropping
defense.
back, going through his
Defense wins
progressions. Nothing
championships.
there. What do? Go
Bad
get some
defense
yards. Make it
misses
positive. Don't
playoffs.
sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation or take a sack. Great job making something out of nothing.
Offense lines
It's
up
just
for
the
a
truth.
1st and 10 from the 43.
You can't win with a bad defense. You can try. Teams have tried to do it. You can't do it.
He's looking to throw it. He'll off
That's a
one
pick.
deep down the left side.
Oh, 24 could have still
And
picked
it
that.
slips
He didn't
through
try.
his fingers incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. On 2nd down, looking again to throw. Catch in the middle.
That was a good catch. 83 has done a really good job for Louisville. He's got crushed sometimes, and he's made some great catches.
As they try to convert this 3rd and short. They'll try to get the first through
Not
the
as good
air.
as their quarterback. Their quarterback is unreal. What a tackle. Put the blitz on him. And we need to run a spy just in case.
They'll operate out of split backs. Wide receiver shows motion. On the option.
How,
Now the pitch.
how did he pitch
Stampeding
that?
through the defense. And they'll ride him down, but
You're
not
kidding.
before he picked up the first down.
How
And
in the
about
world did he get
timing
that
on
ball
that
off?
pitch?
I couldn't even see what
There you're
happened.
seeing the mentality of this head coach in the game, going for it on 4th down.
Elijah
And the
Scholar,
freshman
number
will chalk
10.
up a sack.
What?
This drive was
Maybe
rolling,
number
and then
11.
Got thrown into reverse. Here's a 2nd and 18.
He might have 2 today.
And this defense came to play. They
Good
know
hit.
about
He dropped it.
high-profile QB.
I'd
They
say
rose
taking a
to
shot
the
like that.
challenge and dominated the competition today. They took care of business, and they made no doubt about who's the better football team.
On third down, going up top.
You know, our defense stepped it up today.
Downfield.
But I will say Jerry did warn the entire defensive staff that he will trade every player in the offseason on defense if, of course, we lose this game. And now I don't think Jerry knows the rules of college football that you can't trade players, but I don't think Jerry fully understands how the transfer portal works, but I guess he's going to bench all the players next year and just force them to transfer, right? Yeah, you won't be playing next year. So I'm not going to trade you, but you better find another team.
To help them out in coverage.
Oh, he left him grabbing.
Where's he been the whole game? What a run.
For 6 more points.
Listen, oh, okay. All right, Dubs, we'll check your stats if I remember at the end of this game. Heisman, all right, we'll see. Number 31 on Louisville, Kevin Dobbs. I probably won't remember that. Let's see if he deserves the Heisman. It was a Heisman caliber run, but, well, not really. It was good, though. Heisman, get out of here.
PAT unit on the field.
Imagine doing that with Dan Honeycutt on the other side, who has over 300 yards, receptions, and 4 touchdowns in this game. And you're losing 38-28. Imagine the nerve.
All right, guys, a little update
Oh, no.
on what else is happening in college football.
I tried to
this
call
weekend.
timeout. It wouldn't let me. Okay, Scruggs, you legend. Only guy there. Little miscommunication between Ryan Gamer and the special teams coach.
It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by
I am
3
throwing it.
to Tennessee.
Wait,
We've got our eye
no,
on
it's
this
only a
one
10-point
and
game.
everything
Wake up,
else
Ryan.
going on throughout
We're not
the
letting
day,
Louisville
guys.
beat us.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and
Oh,
those
that's a
guys will be
touchdown.
keeping an eye on it for us. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip.
I was trying to get a, I was trying to get a vertical, everybody. I was trying to get a vertical, Dan Honeycutt.
That QB is
Okay,
lucky
let's
that ball
run
wasn't
it.
hit. You just cannot lob the football, especially when you're throwing it down the middle of the field like that.
Look, they're
Second
just,
down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap
don't
off
mess
before
this
the
up,
2-minute
please.
warning.
Please don't lose this game
Quarterback
for us,
changing
Ryan.
the plays at the line.
Dan Honeycutt!
Incompletion, back to the
Dan
passing lane.
Honeycutt! Dan Honeycutt! Show him the Heisman!
And they
Do it!
add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Yes!
They built a comfortable lead and trying to hang on for a
He
Week
did
13
it!
victory.
Thank
He's
you,
no stranger
Dan!
to the end zone. His
Thank you!
50th career
Thank you,
touchdown
thank
grab.
you!
Doesn't matter who's calling plays, doesn't matter who the quarterback is. You throw this guy's direction if you want to win games. He is a difference maker. He's one of the best in the nation.
He did
50
that for you
touchdown
all,
catches is
everybody.
incredible.
That's
His
just
final
incredible
catch and
production
touchdown of the
just
year.
sustained production
Heisman
consistently,
pose.
week in and
That's a
week out
wrap.
in the lineup. You know, you're going to throw him the football, you know it.
That's a wrap, everybody. Does it show the celebration here? That's a wrap. Dan Honeycutt, everybody. Generational talent. A receiver we'll never forget here on the Gamer Ability YouTube channel. Look at this kid. He's unstoppable. Watch him off the line over there. You don't press him. They thought we were going to run. Well, yeah, that would be the right thing to do. But no, we don't do the right thing. We do the wrong thing. Go it to Dan Honeycutt. Just too good, right? The Heisman pose. Please show it. Yes! Come on, everybody. Hit him with the Heisman, Dan. Win that Heisman, everybody. Oh, my. He did it. He did it, everybody. Actually, it reminds me I need to take a screenshot here, and that's a good time to do it. What a moment. You know, the Louisville Cardinals picked the wrong week to face off against the Kentucky Wildcats. I know it's always the final week of the regular season, but wow, they met us on the wrong week. The right week for us. We needed this game.
What an unbelievable number to hit.
We are unstoppable. Dan Honey, offensively, keep in mind, we're unstoppable. Defensively, we've still allowed 28 points today for an 84 overall offense when we have a 95 overall defense. That's just That's one of the things I've learned about the sliders change this season. It just makes it play just insanely unrealistic for the other team. Like, for you on defense. Now, as you can see, we can still put up good offensive numbers with those sliders, so we can say that. But on the other side of the football, their quarterback, every quarterback we face turns into Tom Brady out there. Every single one of them. Just never missing a decision. Never missing a throw, just pure domination. So, like, what are you going to do? But, yeah, I mean, on a defensive perspective, like, from us playing offense, I feel like the sliders have been fine. Clearly. But we also have Dan Honeycutt. We haven't been able to run the ball well, so that's been an adjustment. But Dan Honeycutt. Without Dan, how would it have been? Well, I don't know. We don't have to worry about that because we have Dan, and he's unstoppable.
Going up top on first down.
Oh, that was my guy? Whoops.
Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
And our quarterback's thrown for over 500 yards today. We took him out, and he came back firing on all cylinders. It's like, you don't bench me.
Got away from trouble and got rid of it.
I tell you, 83 never drops it. I would throw it to him every time.
Right there, good pickup. It's still short of the first
and
down.
You all know when I find my receiver, I throw it to him almost every time, right?
Looking to throw it again. Unloads
no,
to the
that's out of bounds. Yep.
Just a bit of a misfire.
Close.
There. They can't make the
it was a bad throw. He was open. Okay, Tim Brooks, play the spy.
Can the defense stand tall?
That's a throw I would make, everybody. That looked painfully familiar, right? And everybody shook their head. Yeah, Ryan. He pulled a Ryan Gamer on that one.
That might be the exclamation point. Fourth quarter.
It's true. Like, I had to, listen, I will be honest, you know,
for plays just like that,
there's 5 seasons of videos where you can see me make a throw like that, right? The difference is this year we have Dan Honeycutt, right? Oh, my. That looked too familiar, and yes, I'm throwing it.
The big blue offense takes the field. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or he tosses one high and deep down the left side.
They have 88 speed on both sides, defensive back-wise, with slow acceleration. When they're saved 10,000 career season passing yards for Stephen Bullock. It's amazing.
There are no 50-50 balls. He just makes plays, game after game, play after play, and
he beat him by 5 yards there. It was underthrown.
He's one of the best in the country, not just at the wide receiver
one of the
position,
best.
Period. This guy's in the Heisman Trophy conversation as a receiver.
Yeah, he's more than in the conversation, but thank you. Thank you for those compliments there.
This offense has to be feeling it after that last one, and they'll snap it 1st and 10 just outside the 20.
Louisville's coach is furious over there on the sideline.
Just as he released the pass, it's incomplete.
I'm a little bit surprised.
Okay, we've scored. Remember, we don't want to score another touchdown, Honeycutt. That's right. We don't. Let's run it. We don't want to score another touchdown. He already did, and he already did what he wanted to do. Ended the year on a high note season. He's not hurt, and he's broke records.
So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation.
Are you all thinking what I'm thinking? No. Let's end while we're ahead. 45-28, everybody. On U of K. Dan Honeycutt, your Heisman winner, everybody. Close out the season with the Governor's Cup victory.
The defense still has a couple of timeouts.
7-5.
But down a couple of possessions, the offense will take a knee. It's really easy to get caught up in the emotion of a rivalry game. We did, and certainly this was a huge win.
Yeah, and you started, you circled it, you were ready for this team. This is the rivalry you put a lot of stock in all offseason. You're talking about this game in particular. You go out and get the dub. it's a relief because you definitely wanted this team.
And it's bragging rights for
439,
everybody, for the
5
coaching staff, for the
touchdowns.
fans, but how about for the players as well? For another 365 days, you can talk about how you went out, dominated, and you beat your rival. A lot of these guys are going to go on to the NFL. They'll be in locker rooms next year. They'll be talking about this for a long time.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
You know, Dan Honeycutt put on a show for his final game of the regular season. If we don't get a bowl game, I mean, we should with at least a 6-win season, but you never know. 14 points in the first, 7 in the second, 10 in the third, and 14th in the fourth. Now, listen, that Louisville Cardinals offense looked great. They were a few mistakes away from being right there with us for a chance to win that game. A couple fumbles they had, well, one fumble loss, right, in that interception. So, like, they did not play bad. You know, you have to give firm handshakes to that Louisville Cardinals team because their quarterback played amazing and that offense looked really good. Defensively, yeah, no speed. And when you have 99 speed on the other side, 99 route running, you name it, you cannot press them. It's a mistake that is made too often in this video game that I hope they fix in College Football 26. In real life, the head coach for Louisville would never, ever, 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 ever press Dan Honeycutt, ever. Unless you had a safety right over there to just help out with Dan Honeycutt. Even then, I do not think you would press him unless you have the best cornerback in college football at pressing. It's a mistake that's made way too often in this game, even on the Heisman difficulty level. But I'm glad they make it because it allows Dan Honeycutt to absolutely dominate. Huge win. We finished 7-5. We'll see if we get a bowl game, right? We should. 623 total offense, 598 passing yards. That was insane. And honestly, we played good defensively, too. I know we allowed 28 points, but look at the first quarter and the third quarter, right? So defense played better than usual. Better than usual for our team to still allow 28 points, right? So there's that. Their quarterback played great. Tim Doman, he looked good. But look at Stephen Bullock, everybody. He bounced back. You better believe it. 5 interceptions last week. He bounces back 16 for 25, 537. He threw 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. We took him out at the end of the first half. Ajayi did the first drive, right? Did pretty good on his first drive as well. Led us to a field goal. Stephen Bullock came back in with a vengeance, and he dominated there against Louisville. Rushing, we didn't do much, right? We didn't run the ball much at all. But receiving, yeah, pretty good, right? Dan Honeycutt, 12 for 439, 5 touchdowns. Guerrero had that big-time catch. Tremaine Stack had that great wheel route to start the game. And this receiving core is unstoppable. And defensively, Elijah Scholar took him to school. I thought he had 2 sacks, 1, so that's going to be 10 sacks on the year. Matthew Horn, I think, had 10 sacks as well. Tim Rooks had a lot of sacks. Our defensive line did not fall short this year, but defensively we did. And Matthew Horn had 5 tackles for loss. That is unreal. What a game, everybody. I'm going to take a look at some more highlights, take a few screenshots, and we'll take a look at the road ahead, do scouting, our final week of scouting, and then we'll see if we get a bowl game. What a way to close out the season, right? A huge win in the Governor's Cup, 45-28. And is anybody opposed to Kroger Field having a name change to Honeycutt Field? I think it's got to be Honeycutt Field after this year, right? I mean, he's going to get the university named after him after this year. Probably would have got the university named after him if it would have been a national championship year as well. Unfortunately, although we had the best receiver in college football history, we had the worst team of the 5 years in this dynasty, right? So our 5th season was our worst season. I made the mistake of upping the sliders. I wish I never would have done that. Although it made for some entertaining moments, it was very unfair from an offensive standpoint for the other team. We found a way to get the job done offensively on our side, but we couldn't stop the quarterbacks or anybody. Like they could basically do whatever they wanted. And yeah, it was not my favorite decision. I'll never do it again. I promise you. Next game, we're going to start Heisman and we're going to stay Heisman. We're not going to adjust the sliders. I'll look at the interceptions because in this game, I think the sweet spot is 40 per user and CPU interceptions. That'll probably be the only thing I adjust, is decreasing interceptions to 40, because in this game, if you have them at normal 50, where they're at default Heisman, the linebackers, they all look like high-level receivers out there. There's never any dropped interceptions. Everybody out there on defense looks like wide receivers. If you change it to 40, it's really good. If you change it lower than that, it's a little more realistic, but I don't like to change it much lower than that. But yeah, let's take a look at recruiting here. We don't have much or anything to do, and it won't be long till we get to actually see the players' developments, right? So we're very close to seeing that, but we have a great recruiting class here coming in for our final recruiting class here in this game. And there's only one recruit we have left to get, which is a kicker, a power tendency with mega leg, and has road dog. And he does have another offer from Auburn. All right, let's go ahead and hard sell, right? Because we do fit the hard sell, right? We do. A+, and a B, right? So we're going to go ahead and hard sell. I cannot wait for College Football 26, everybody. Like, I wish it was here right now, right? And I know it'll be here before we know it, but I just cannot wait for that game. It is going to be awesome. This game was awesome, and I just cannot wait. But just to show you all the top class here, Kentucky Wildcats, the good thing is we locked in these recruits, keep in mind, early on, when we were still a championship contender. We would have lost a lot of these. I know we're an elite recruiter, but Georgia is the #1 team, and we locked them in when we were in the top 10. And if we didn't, we would have lost most of them, right? So Georgia is upset, but I mean, they showed it, and they took us down at home in the pouring rain. So yeah, they you know, I don't think they're too upset. They're the #1 team in the nation. They got 19 4-star athletes. I think Georgia is gonna be just fine. But let's see if we got a bowl game, everybody. Right? Let's advance the week. And of course, we have the awards and everything. And we'll see who won Heisman, everybody. You better believe it. It's got to be Dan Honeycutt, right? Got to be championship contender. Moved up to A-, 19 now. Number 19, everybody. You love to see it. That's huge, actually. Thank you for that. That means we're going to get a good bowl, right? SEC Defensive Player of the Week, Matthew Horn. He definitely deserved it. You better believe Dan Honeycutt got something, right? He got it every year, every week. National Defensive Player of the Week, Matthew Horn, come on. And we'll take a look at season stats. We'll see where our team shaped up. SEC Offensive Player of the Week. We all knew who it was going to be, right? Just insane stats. 12 receptions and National Offensive Player for the 13th week in a row. No, I think he did not win it like 3 weeks, and that's it. This kid is phenomenal. He is unstoppable on every single level. Like, he truly is. So we're going to go ahead and advance past this week, right? Recruiting. Well, we can look at recruiting here. I don't think we have anything to do because I still want to look at all the stats here, which I guess we can go ahead and look at stats. Okay, because this, no, we'll skip past week 14. Okay, we haven't locked him in yet. This kicker is playing hard to get. Are you kidding me? Wow. He really is taking his time, right? Let's advance past week 14. This is when we're going to look at all the stats and everything, right? He's reached his top 3 schools, still has not made a decision. He's really waiting, right? Wow. Okay, conference championship week. So now we can go ahead and look at the season stats, right? So let's look at first, let's look at our team season stats, right? Okay. Stephen Bullock, 4,300 yards. 179 completions out of 269 pass attempts, 52 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. 358 passing yards per game. If he would have lowered his interceptions, he would have been on the Heisman watch. He was not because of the interceptions, right? And then rushing. We didn't run the ball much, but despite that, Drayton still had a solid year. 167 carries for 936, 9 touchdowns, and only 1 fumble. You know, he couldn't get too many carries because of the wear and tear, but he capitalized out of his very small amount of chances. And then here we go. Oh, Dan Honeycutt, everybody. A record-breaking year. We already knew he broke the yards record by a long shot. 2,682 yards, 79 receptions, 43 touchdowns, 223 average yards catching per game. Receiving. That's just nuts. Like, he was unstoppable by far the best talent we've seen in this entire dynasty. He dropped the ball 8 times. That's actually surprising, but I also threw the ball to him like 900 times. So, so there's that. Let's take a look at defense here. So Storm Livings led the team in solo tackles, right? Tackle for loss. Was that Storm Livings? No, Matthew Horn. Oh my goodness. Matthew Horn and Elijah Scholar dominated. It was actually Matthew Horn who led the team in sacks. He had like 2 in that last game, 1 forced fumble. This is an incredible defensive line. Look at this. These are our top 4 offensive line or defensive linemen, starting 4. That's insane, those stats. That is unreal. It still wasn't good enough at the end of the day. How many forced fumbles? 4 forced fumbles from Matthew Horn. Keep in mind, Matthew Horn was an athletic center, agile tendency, who we converted to left end. And what a great decision that was. I mean, what? Kicking, how do we do? 71%. We only kicked 5 field goals and made 5. We kicked 7. 71% is better than my typical average. We had a much better punter this year, I will say. He did a really good job. Kick return, we had a touchdown. I remember that one, Dugans. That was a big touchdown. We lost that game. Dan Honeycutt did have a punt return. I remember that. Dan Honeycutt got a punt return as well. Add another touchdown to the list. But I got to see these stats again, everybody. Like, just on another level. I like, what do you even say? He is the best wide receiver to ever play the game. We saw that. You know, he broke every record imaginable at the wide receiver position here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at these season stats here so you can see it one last time. Receiving yards by a long shot, catches by a long shot, TD catches, and then we did not get receptions because who could ever get 158 receptions? Only Zay Jones for East Carolina in 2016. You know, Dan Honeycutt scored too much when he caught it, right? If he would have had 158, I mean, he would have scored 89 times or more. So now that's season stats. Let's take a look at team stats here. Let's see how we stacked up nationally. So did we have the best offense? We did have the #1 offense in college football. This is not just the Southeastern Conference. This is in college football. The #1 offense. That is insane, everybody. I knew we would. Like, we were unreal. 5,447 yards. Your #1 offense did not make the college football playoffs. Let that sink in, everybody. Just let that sink in for a second. Like, my brain can't even fathom that. Are you kidding me? LSU #2, North Texas #3, and they're having a great year. They're 11-1. They're going to be in the college football playoffs as well. They just snuck in, I believe. Georgia and then NC State make out the top 5. Now, what about rushing specifically? Who led? Air Force, yeah, they run a lot. Michigan #2. What about points per game? Look, we all look at this. Points per game. LSU win by 0.3. That was so close, right? Passing touchdowns, nobody's going to beat us, even though LSU was close. Wow. What a year for the Tigers, everybody. Rushing touchdowns, we're not going to be up there. First downs, we're going to be #1. Yeah, 219. Now, let's go to defense. You know, there might be some good things. Yards allowed. The most yards allowed was the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They did not play fierce as a Golden Gopher this year, did they? But look at Kentucky. Like, we are in the bottom 5. We're in the bottom 5%. Like, that's not good. We are like almost 10th from last, right? Then we might be number 15, 16. That is really bad. In passing yards. Rushing, not good. Not good either, I don't think. Actually, okay, a little bit better. Okay, so we were a little bit better stopping the run, so that's at least a win. I can't even find us. There we are. Okay, we were better at stopping the run. Points allowed. Well, we weren't the worst. We were the 6th worst. But we were not the worst in points allowed. This is pitiful. And now, I bet we won this one. Yeah, all day, every day. Look at this. Former head coach Andrew Parker, not head coach, former defensive coordinator Andrew Parker took over Stanford, led them to 44 sacks this year, lost by 1 to Kentucky. You love to see it. 45 sacks. At least we did something good. Yeah, very disappointing defense, everybody. But that is going to be your numbers here, everybody. Offensive and defensively, nationally. It's just a very good year offensively, a very poor year defensively. But the good news is, of course, we're going to have the best offense in the SEC as well. So you love to see that. LSU had a great offense as well. You can see that. But this Kentucky offense just dominated. Unfortunately, that #1 Kentucky offense nationally will not make the college football playoffs, right? It is just so painful. Like, it just breaks my heart to say that out loud, right? It just truly does, because, like, I mean, what are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, it's just you move on to the next one. So, okay, let's see if we have recruiting to do. We just have the kicker, right? Which we just did that, so we don't have anything else to do. We already basically have locked them in. They scheduled a visit for week 16. Auburn, what are we doing here? We're scheduling visits here? Week 16? What? Auburn really wants that kicker. Okay. Now, who's playing in the conference championship? Let's actually see the scores and schedules this week. Let's see who's playing in the championships. Jacksonville State versus Florida International. Toledo versus Central Michigan. Toledo in the top 20, everybody. Kansas versus Kansas State. Troy versus James Madison. LSU versus Georgia. There's the SEC championship game. That's going to be a great game. I think Georgia is going to win that by 40. Not 40, but I do think they're going to win it. North Texas versus Charlotte. Colorado State versus Boise State. UCLA versus Oregon. And then Florida State versus Virginia Tech. UCLA? Wait, what happened in the Big Ten? They made it with the 6-6 record? 6-3 in the conference? So it's their conference record. They're not even close to the college football playoffs, but they have a chance with 6 wins on the year to win the conference championship. And no, they wouldn't be the 4th highest ranked conference winner, would they? So no, I don't think they would make it even if they win. That's insane. 6-3 in the Big Ten, and they made the championship. We could never get that in the SEC. It just would be impossible here in this Dynasty series. So let's go ahead and advance the week, everybody. And we'll see who won Heisman, everybody. I think we already know who locked in the Heisman Trophy, right? Hey, look at this. He had a visit scheduled to Auburn. He said, no, I want to be a Wildcat. Akeem Grill, my new kicker from Reform, Alabama. Okay, is this next week will be the awards, right? So next week should be the awards here. You still have the conference championship week. So wait a second, what? Okay, hold your horses, everybody. Georgia lost to LSU in the SEC championship, dropping the first game of the year in the conference championship. Virginia Tech takes the #1 spot. Oregon, Georgia, NC State, LSU, Kansas State, USC, South Carolina, Boise State, North Texas, and Miami. And wow, South Carolina must dropped. No, South Carolina moved in. I just read their name and skipped right past the fact that South Carolina did move in there. Northwestern got moved out, everybody. I was talking about their strength of schedule. It's not a good strength of schedule. South Carolina does actually move in. They deserved it after taking us down in their strength of schedule. So, hey, they really did deserve it. And let's go ahead and take a look at the college football bracket if the season ended today. So right now, it's Virginia Tech, first round bye. And the season did end today, right? So this is final. Virginia Tech, Oregon, LSU, and Kansas State get a first round bye. Colorado State will be playing Georgia. Boise State against South Carolina, Miami versus NC State, and North Texas versus USC. My prediction is Georgia goes to the national championship facing off against LSU, and Georgia wins it with revenge against LSU after losing in the conference championship. Now in the future, with the new changes to the college football playoffs, with it being the top 12 teams in the ranking, conference championship not mattering, the conference championship isn't going to matter that much at all anymore. So it's one of those things, you might see teams start resting their starters in the championship games, because that game is not supposed to affect your ranking, right? So if it's not supposed to affect your ranking, we may see teams actually not play their starters fully, like maybe sit their starting quarterback or their superstar receiver or running back. I seriously think with that being a change this year in the championship game, we're not going to see as many teams play all of their starters. I really don't. So let's see who gets the awards, everybody. I think we know. But hey, we don't know. Nothing's official until we see it pop up, right? Will we coach our first Heisman player? We already know the answer is yes. Dan Honeycutt is your player of the year, everybody. You love to see it. 79 receptions, 2,682 yards, and 43 touchdowns. You better believe he's the player of the year and the Heisman Trophy winner. Both player of the year and the Heisman Trophy winner goes to the greatest wide receiver in college football history, Dan Honeycutt. He is now set in stone. He gave Lexington, Kentucky, the #1 receiver of all time. That is a historical season, one we'll never forget in this dynasty. And just generational talent. Do you all remember when we recruited him? We knew he was going to be special. One of the beauties of this Dynasty series and college football games in general, you have a quick turnaround of players, right? You recruit these players, you find generational talent, you get to play them early on, and you see players leave a lot. And like, it's short, right? You only have 4 years with the players. So like, there's a lot of turnover and it's a blast. That's the beautiful part about this, just recruiting players like Dan and seeing them thrive and winning a Heisman. We finally coached our first Heisman player, everybody. 5th year. And is that the only? No, Matthew Horn, Best Defensive Player Award, everybody. Come on, 13 sacks. You better believe it. He deserved it. And Elijah Schooler wasn't too far off, but 26 tackles for loss, and he was not on the Heisman watch list. That's kind of insane. Matthew Horn wins Best Defensive End. Of course he did. He had to win that. If you win Best Defensive Player, and look at this. Yeah, we already knew who's going to win this one, right? Nobody was questioning Best Receiver, you know. Not even close. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the award winners, right? Let's see who was on the final of the Heisman here. So Dan Honeycutt, Michael Turner, Marquez Yates, Casey Butler, and Luis Emery. The Georgia quarterback and wide receiver moved off the list. So I don't know if they just fell apart or what happened. Wow. But Dan Honeycutt, you better believe, locked it in. Now, let's take a look at the award winners here. So player of the year, of course, Dan Honeycutt. Michael Turner for LSU, a familiar name if you watch the Road to Glory series on the channel for Rocket Rhett Gamer. The quarterback, he finished his year at LSU, or his senior year at LSU, and Michael Turner was one of his receivers. Coach of the year, you better believe is not going to Kentucky, right? It's Virginia Tech. Where's Georgia? How is Georgia not? They lost 1 game. Like, come on. Like, Virginia Tech lost 1 game too. Georgia's schedule was absolutely nuts, everybody. Like, move them to number 3. I don't know about that. Best quarterback, Stephen Bullock, number 8. Marquez Yates gets it for LSU. Best defensive player, Matthew Horn. And look, the freshman, everybody, number 7, Elijah Schooler. Took him to school all year. Dominated. Best defensive back, Dylan Rowe. He was our only good defensive back this year. He played really well. He had a lot of tackles, had some big plays. Look at Virginia Tech. They have a cornerback, free safety, and cornerback all in the best defensive backs. So they were insane. Best running back goes to Rashard Blunt from Virginia Tech. We were not on that list. Receiver, you know, is Dan Honeycutt, right? Lombardi Award, Defensive Lineman of the Year goes to Camden Hardy, actually. And Matthew Horn gets number 2, but he got Defensive Player of the Year. And Elijah Schooler is number 7 there. Unitas Golden Arm, Ryan Puglisi, the quarterback for Georgia there. That's the best senior quarterback, I believe. And then best defensive end, Matthew Horn, of course. Elijah Schooler, number 5. Look at that. Best interior lineman, nobody on this list here for Kentucky. And honestly, I thought we had a good offensive line, but clearly not a good enough offensive line to make that. Best tight end, Sanders didn't get enough catches this year. Cameron Rainbow from Georgia, who played really well against us, I believe. John Dillard, offensive coordinator of the year, or assistant coach of the year from Virginia Tech. Best linebacker goes to Rawls for Virginia Tech. I mean, they racked up this year. Virginia Tech dominated. I can see why their coach won Coach of the Year. Arsenio, if I'm saying Arsenault, Parkey is the best center. The Lou Groza Award to the best kicker goes to LSU. And then best punter, Boston College. And then best returner is Ohio State. So, yeah, there you have it. There's the awards. Now, I do want to see the All-Americans. We usually get robbed here. But yeah, Dan Honeycutt, finally we have a first-team All-American, everybody. It's about time. We never have a first team. The second team, did we have any? No, but you better believe Elijah Scholar is going to be on the freshman. How in the world was Matthew Horn and Elijah Scholar not on the first-team All-American, everybody? Do you all know what decides this? Like, if you win a certain award, can you not make it on this list? Do you all know? Like, if you win Defensive Player of the Year, can you not make first team? No, that can't be right, because Dan Honeycutt won Player of the Year and Heisman, Best Receiver, and is still on first team. How was Matthew Horn not on this list? I see why Elijah Scholar wasn't, but how in the world was Matthew Horn not on here? I don't know how you become an All-American. Do you know? Because if you do, let me know. Because Elijah Scholar should have been on there, right? I mean, just an insane talent. So there you have it, everybody. That wraps up the season review. Now, what's left, did we get a bowl? And that's what we're about to find out, right? Can we look here? We actually should know by looking at bowl matchups. They better have gave us a bowl. This better not be the season finale, everybody. Come on. Please give us a bowl. I mean, we had to have got a bowl. You're kidding. Wait, hold on. There's a lot of way worse teams than us that I see in this bowl list. Okay, Texas got a bowl against... They're 7-5. They got a bowl against 6-6 WKU. Am I missing Kentucky here? Where's Kentucky? Where is Kentucky? YouTube. We see way worse teams than us in this. 6-6 teams. You gotta be kidding me. How did we not get a bowl? Is that official? View job offers. I always like to see we're never going to leave. Alabama! Alabama's like, come save us, Ryan. Look at that. Everybody wants Ryan now. Tennessee wants Ryan. Ohio State wants Ryan. Ole Miss wants him as a defensive coordinator. Get out of here, Ole Miss. Alabama's like, come save us, Ryan. Tennessee's like, come save us. They had a terrible year. We didn't have a good year either, but they had worse years than us, both Alabama and Tennessee. But I cannot believe we didn't get a bowl. Like, I don't even know what to say. Do we have to hire a new coach? I hope not. No, it looks like we kept our staff, hopefully. I'm shocked if we don't get a bowl. It doesn't look like we do. That should be final. There's no other games left. But we can take a look at our development for all of our players here, everybody. So here we go. We can see our development traits here. Roy Loudermilk, tight end, vertical threat, impact development. JJ Wake, the 5-star gym field general, has elite development, everybody. Generational talent right there. You'll love to see it. And Alec Vaughn, 4-star gym wide receiver, elite development. Oh my, that's 2 elites. Logan Letman, speed rusher, 5-star, elite development, defensive tackle. Oh my, that's the best we've done so far. That's 3 elites. Elijah Waters, star development, a right tackle. JJ Conrad, agile right guard, star development. Laundry Chun, 4-star gem, speed rushing left end of Impact Development. Sean DeGier, an athletic power back of Star Development. Rico Kaufman, an elusive back, Star Development. Craig Sharp, 4-star gem, left guard pass protector, Impact Development. Tavares Hag, a 4-star gem, cornerback zone tendency of Impact Development. Freddie Brent, a left outside linebacker power rusher, Star Development. And then Carl Marcus, elite development. This is the one. This is the future of this team. I don't know. We don't have much left in this dynasty, obviously, right? Because the next game's around the corner. But look at this, everybody. 5-star platinum quick jump and has elite development. How lucky did we get? He's going to stay right outside linebacker, but we're going to play him at left end. George Smelter, a left tackle power tendency, Star Development. Roland Brazil, defensive tackle, speed rush tendency, elite development. This is the most elite developments we've had. Jalen Majay, a free safety zone tendency, Star Development. Devin Brent, 4-star gem right tackle, Impact Development. Timmy Rhodes, a left tackle pass protector, Impact Development. Ron Pounds, a defensive tackle, power rusher, and Star Development. And the kicker is normal development. That's fine. We were hoping to land higher. This is the best recruiting class I believe we've had from an elite development standpoint and Star Development. We landed on almost every recruit above normal, but we had so many stars in elite. Look at this. This is nuts. This is the best recruiting class I've ever had in this game, hitting on developments. I know we will not see them fully develop, but this is insane. And we're number 1, of course. Georgia number 2. Georgia is actually number 3 in the rankings. You know, they got robbed, though. They got robbed because you're not supposed to drop in the top 25. The way the conference championships are supposed to work, they're not supposed to have weight in the top 25 rankings. I believe they can have a little bit, but should they be able to move you from number 1 to number 3 when you've held number 1 the entire year? And you lost to one of the second best offense in college football. We were the number 1. I don't think that should be the case. If that's the case, just skip the conference championship game, right? So we're gonna advance the week, right, and see what happens. I don't know if we have staff or anything to re-sign. This is gonna be a long episode. Obviously, the regular season finale usually is. But yeah, I don't think we actually have to manage staff because I don't think we did lose any, so that's good. But I don't think we made a bowl game. And I am just shocked. We're just going to simulate, and we'll take a look at the college football playoff bracket as well. I'm just a little frustrated that we did not get a bowl. There was teams way worse than us with records worse than us that didn't get it. Look at this. Georgia crushed Colorado State, and then they crushed Kansas State to make it to the semifinals. South Carolina took down Boise State, but then they lost to Virginia Tech. You got number 1 Virginia Tech versus former number 1 Georgia Bulldogs. Oh my, that's going to be a game right there. And then NC State, what? NC State took down Miami 40-23, and then they took down LSU 44-0. And advanced to play in the semifinals. So North Texas got beat by USC first round, the very bottom left, 34-17. USC advanced to take down Oregon 27-10. And semifinals, Georgia, Virginia Tech, NC State, USC. I picked Georgia to win it all. We'll see if they can actually pull it off, everybody. It's so painful we did not get a bowl game. Like, that is just shocking. I am shocked. Let's see who makes it to the national championship, right? Who's it going to be? Georgia and USC will be playing in the national championship game, everybody. Somehow the Kentucky Wildcats did not make a bowl game when teams way worse than us did. Look at this. USC won in overtime, 40-37. What a game. And with the show the Georgia game, we're going to have to take a look at the bracket. I want to see how much Georgia won by. Georgia, oh my. Look at that, 34-31. They scored 13 points in the fourth quarter to win the game when they were down. That is awesome. Huge win for Georgia. You know, we can at least say we got beat by a team who made it to the national championship game, everybody. They're playing against the USC Trojans here. Let's see who's going to win, everybody. We did not lose our staff this year, so that's awesome. Love that. So our staff is going to stay. Let's go ahead and advance past the national championship game. Just a heartbreaking to not get a bowl game, right? I can't believe it. Coach stability moved down. How? We didn't lose anybody. At least it showed that we didn't lose anybody. So I'm not sure why that went down. Coach prestige went down. That's fair. I'll give you that. Georgia wins the 2028 national championship. It's technically the 2029 national championship game of the 2028 season, right? 32-24. What a win by the Georgia Bulldogs. We played that team. They were amazing. I mean, they had a great comeback against us. That makes me feel a little better that we lost to the best team in football, right? So congrats to the Georgia Bulldogs. Congrats to USC for making it. They had a big overtime victory. And just sadness here for the Kentucky Wildcats to not make the national championship game. I mean, to not make a bowl game. We knew we weren't going to make the national championship. So we can advance past that. We already looked at the regular season. We looked how our stats were. We saw the awards. And yeah, we had the off season. And honestly, this year, we don't have a lot to do in the off season. So yeah, I'm not quite sure the next episode, because we really don't need to do the transfer portal. The off-season episode, I don't know. I might just skip to the season and then show you all the new team at the beginning of the next year, or this might be the end. This might be the end. We're not going to have time for another full season, right? And I was expecting a bowl game to have another one next week. I don't know. We won't have time. We won't be able to get a full season in, right? So unfortunately, I don't know. Could this be the end? It might be, everybody. This might be the end of the Kentucky Dynasty. I mean, what a career it was. I mean, we can look at our coach stats, right? But like, what a year, what a career. Ryan Gamer, 68-9 career record. That's pretty incredible. 5 winning seasons. Playoff record, 15-0. What? 4 national championships, only 1 conference championship. 17 players drafted, 3 first-round picks, top 5 recruiting classes 3 times. That's amazing, right? How do we look at our coaching card? Like, to look at, is it right? Is this it? Coach contracts, maybe? I think it might be here. Yeah, this is it. So this is where we can see when Ryan Gamer took over, a 16-1 national championship, 15-1 national championship, 14-2 national championship, 16-0, the perfect season, national championship, and we crushed Oregon in that finale. And then 2028, we don't talk about. We don't talk about the 2028 season. We just, yeah. That's why you don't mess with the sliders, everybody. That is the main thing I want to teach you all in this final year of this dynasty. And Heisman difficulty, do not give the AI any advantage. They will take advantage of it, and you cannot stop them. When they're on offense, good luck. So yeah, I mean, if this is the end, I just want to give a big thank you to each and every one of you all. So many iconic moments in this series, so many funny laughs, and just incredible football, right? We played some incredible football in this dynasty, some bad football too, a little bit of both, right? But some incredible moments, 4 national championships for the Kentucky Wildcats. What a coaching career Ryan Gamer had. I know it's a rough final season. We finished it off with a win in the Governor's Cup against the Louisville Cardinals and did not get a bowl game somehow, but that happens sometimes. Actually, no, it shouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened in real life. But yeah, it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, we gave it our all offensively. We had the best offense in college football this year. Even better than that incredible LSU Tigers offense, right? So, hey, we fought, we climbed, and we fell short at the end. But 4 national championships. If this is the end, I want to say a big thank you to all of you all for all the support, for all the likes, and just being here on each and every episode. Be sure to subscribe if you're ready for college football 26 content, Dynasty, Road to Glory. You better believe it. You're going to see them both. And there's plenty other sports game content to tune into here on the Gamer Ability YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video on the channel. As always, have a fantastic day, everybody.